get this message, please call me. Nobody knows where you're at.
At 3:17 p.m., a mother of triplets walked into her estranged husband's house to pick up her 5-year-old son. She never walked out. Her car turned up 2 days later, on the shoulder of an interstate. One tire flat. Keys gone. Purse gone. Her gone. The tire hadn't blown. Somebody stabbed it, while the car sat still. Her name was Jackie, 38 years old, Southeast Missouri. A job she was good at, manager at a large insurance firm, and 3 5-year-olds who looked exactly like her. People who knew her used the same word over and over: capable. She worked 40 hours a week, got up 6, 7, 8 times a night when the triplets were small, laughed through it. Her older sister said Jackie could be sitting in a car with 3 screaming kids and still find something funny about it. Her husband was a different story. He bounced from job to job for most of their 18 years together. He'd been a sheriff's deputy once, for about a year. It didn't take. Her parents never liked him. Her father said it plainly. He didn't like him the first minute he met him. But Jackie was an enabler. She said so herself. She felt sorry for him. She took care of him the same way she took care of the kids, maybe more. By the last Christmas she was alive, something had shifted. He showed up at the family gathering looking wrong, jumpy. Her sister asked him, half joking, why he'd even come. He told her he was hanging on by his fingertips. That's the kind of line you remember later. After. Here's the thing about women who decide to leave. They usually know. They feel it coming before anyone else does. And the smart ones start writing it down. Jackie started a document on her work computer. Dated entries, his exact words. December. He told her one of them wasn't going to be around to watch the kids grow up. March. A divorce, he said, would be her death sentence. Then, a week later, something darker. If he couldn't have her, he'd take the kids on a weekend fishing trip, come back alone, and tell her they drowned, just so he could see her face when she heard it. She told her sister plainly, I know what he's capable of. I just don't want to be dead. Then something lucky happened. At least, it looked lucky at the time. He lost his job. They lost the house. The forced reset gave Jackie an exit she could frame as practical. She moved in with her sister, took the triplets. He moved an hour away, crashed at a friend's place in another town. She told her sister she'd thought they'd turned a corner. She really believed it. She was wrong. The divorce was almost done. Just one more meeting. The day after Memorial Day, Jackie was supposed to sit with her soon-to-be ex in their attorney's office, sign paperwork, then pick up her son from his place on the way home. She called her sister around 3, said the meeting was over. Said she was pulling up to his house right now. Said she'd grab the boy and head back. That was the last time anyone who loved her heard her voice.
I just got this sick feeling that by this time, it's like 6:30 or 7. And I start blowing up her phone and I'm leaving her messages.
But no response.
6:30 came. 7. No Jackie. No callback. Her sister started calling his phone. Nothing. Finally, she sent a message. If I don't hear from her in 5 minutes, I'm driving to the police. His phone rang back almost instantly. He was calm. A little too calm. He said he hadn't seen her. That if he did, he'd pass along a message. Then he hung up. Her sister didn't wait. She drove an hour south, walked straight into the police station, and said one sentence. "I know he killed my sister." Normally, a missing adult gets a 24-hour wait. This one didn't. Something about it felt off from the first call. A sergeant drove out to the husband's house that same night. The husband talked a lot.
When was the last time you saw her?
I was with her all day.
Were you?
Yeah.
He'd said they'd met at a drugstore, had lunch, gone to the lawyer together, then came back to his place.
Okay.
I mean, it was a good conversation.
She didn't act like she was upset or anything?
No.
Argued about a bank account, and she'd walked off down the hill, on foot. He said he'd driven around looking, couldn't find her, and gone to get a soda to cool off. A soda. His wife of 18 years was missing, and he stopped for a soda.
She just walked off?
Yeah.
Did you go try to look for her in your car then?
Yeah, I went down the hill. I didn't see her, and I went and got a soda to cool off.
Within hours, a multi-agency task force was on it. Elite detectives, FBI crime scene techs from 7 departments, all in one room. They found her car fast, parked neatly on an interstate shoulder. One tire flat. The problem? The wheel rim was perfect. Not a scratch on it. Nobody drives a car with a blown tire and leaves the rim clean. A state trooper looked at it for about 30 seconds and said what everyone was already thinking. That tire was punctured sitting still. That scene was staged by somebody who wanted it to look like she broke down and got into the wrong stranger's car. Investigators got a warrant for the house he was staying in, walked through the front door, walked down the hallway. The carpet was gone, torn up, just bare floor. And on the walls, low near the baseboard, specks. A lot of them. Evidence tags went up every few feet. An FBI agent noticed something in the basement. A crawl space, and the dirt in front of it had been disturbed. Recently. A path pushed through the dust.
You think Jackie could have been under there?
That was a good possibility, yes.
He dropped to his stomach and went in. What he found changed the case. The carpet from the hallway was back there, cut into pieces, stuffed into the crawl space, several strips soaked through. The lab confirmed it. Jackie's blood. But there was no body.
So he didn't find a body, but he found the carpet,
That's correct.
which was a huge piece of this investigation.
Yes.
And without a body in Missouri, you don't get a murder conviction just because you've got a feeling. So detectives reverse engineered her last day, frame by frame, camera by camera. Drugstore footage caught her walking in to meet him around 11. ATM video caught her around 1. That's the last image of her alive. Then the husband appeared again, in a different outfit, at a toy store, towing a small boat.
Clay had pulled up into the parking lot to meet his girlfriend who had Maddox.
Later that night, a car wash camera caught him hosing the boat down, spraying the inside, checking it, like he was looking for something he might have missed.
We found the car wash video where he was washing the boat. You could tell that he was looking to see if there was something on the boat like blood.
A couple out on the river recognized the boat when police released the photos.
We had a young man and a young woman that was out by the Mississippi River, saw a small boat of that description across the river.
They'd seen one just like it tied up near a remote sandbar on the Illinois side, an unofficial name locals use for the place. Devil's Island. Search teams combed it multiple times. They found nothing. Meanwhile, the husband was enjoying himself. They'd put a GPS tracker on his truck. He figured it out almost immediately.
Early on in the investigation, we put a tracker on his truck at that point. There's times where he would go and sit for a while in a vacant lot, so it would cause us to get search teams to go to that area and start searching.
He was sending you on a cat and mouse chase.
He was playing with us the whole time.
He drove past volunteer crews combing ditches, honked, flipped them off, laughed. He even staged evidence to test them, smeared fish blood on the inside of his truck door, filmed himself doing it to see if police would lie and claim it was human. He thought he was the smartest person in the room. He was about to find out. He wasn't. The family court moved fast. Jackie's sister was awarded temporary custody of the triplets. He hated that. So, he went online. And in one post, he told his sister-in-law, in writing, that she was dead. That if anything happened to those kids, he'd come for her. 5 years, 10, 25. He'd said he'd wait. That post did something nothing else had managed to do in 4 months. It got him arrested.
He just couldn't help himself. He had to keep taunting people.
I saw the post come in across topics, and I called Agent Ritter in to look at it. I knew at that point, when Agent Ritter saw it, that he had committed a federal crime.
Threatening someone across state lines on the internet is a federal crime. The FBI charged him. While he sat in a cell on that, prosecutors quietly added more. An old theft from a previous employer, a harassment case involving a former friend. None of it was murder. All of it kept him locked up. That was the point. Keep him off the street. Keep him away from the sister. Keep building. For almost 2 years, they built. The family wanted one thing more than a conviction. They wanted Jackie home, a proper burial, a place to visit. Some prosecutors offered him a deal. Plead guilty to second-degree murder, tell them where she is, take 20 years. He took it, right before the trial. When he realized the circumstantial case was thick enough to bury him, he led them back to Devil's Island, the same place they'd already searched. He couldn't point to an exact spot, just a general area. But he did mention one detail. He dumped a bag of fertilizer on top of her when he filled in the hole.
One key thing he had told us was he had put a bag of fertilizer on her body when he buried her.
One of the detectives indicated if you have too much fertilizer, it kills the roots of a tree.
A detective looked up at the tree line. In a patch of healthy growth, one tree was dead. Stone dead. Roots burned out by too much fertilizer. They dug under it by hand, found her knee first, still in her jeans. The plea required a taped confession, so he sat in a room and talked. His version was a performance. He said she'd invited herself over that afternoon for one last time together before signing the papers. He said they ended up in the kitchen, bumped heads by accident at the fridge. Her nose bled. She ran, tripped in the hallway, said something cruel about the custody fight. He said he'd only hit her once. Just once. The autopsy showed multiple skull fractures. And he'd already admitted, on camera, that he'd dug the grave the night before. There's a detail in the confession that's hard to shake. After he killed her, he put her body into a trash can in the back of his truck. And then he drove to a toy store to meet his girlfriend and his 5-year-old son. His son climbed into the same truck. Before sentencing, a relative called him in jail and told him plainly to act remorseful in court. Just once, for the family. He refused. Said why should he care what they were going through? He was the one going to prison. He thought the 20 years was the ceiling. It wasn't. Because he'd let slip that he'd crossed state lines the night before the murder to dig the grave. Federal prosecutors hit him with an interstate domestic violence charge. 35 more years to be served after the 20. And from inside prison, he wrote a book about it. The title he chose was the same threat he'd made to Jackie when she first said she wanted a divorce.
You need to be apologetic and remorseful.
I'm not. I'm gonna stand up in court tomorrow and tell everybody to themselves. Why should I care what they're going through if they don't care what I'm going through? You understand?
No, I don't. You're not the victim here, Clay.
It happened 2 years ago. I just want to move on. I'm sorry, I'm going to jail. That's it.
The triplets are 12 now. They were raised by Jackie's sister, the same woman who walked into a police station that first night and refused to leave. One of them, her son, stood up at sentencing. 5 years old. He told his father, on the record, that he'd taken their mom away. And that you don't get to undo that.
Like, I don't care for him anymore. And it's like that he gets that he has ruined the bond between us and him, and that he's never gonna have that back. Like, he just took our mom away, and that, so I was trying to show him that you can't undo that.
The most dangerous moment in an abusive relationship isn't the years of it. It's the moment she decides to leave. Jackie knew that. She planned for it. She was almost out. Almost. If this one stayed with you, leave one word in the comments. Just one. The word she used when she told her sister she didn't want to be dead.